Hello and welcome to another episode of the Troy Francis podcast with me, Troy Francis, coming at you live from the Lair in London, from the secret underground bunker where I am recording this world-class content just for you. And today the topic is resurrection, okay? Resurrection, coming back to life, the great awakening, if you like. And we're seeing it. I've been seeing it today in London, but I'll get onto that in just a moment, okay? So the first thing for me to say today is that my new book collection, Renegade Dating Domination, is published today. It's out now. It's available for immediate download. And what Renegade Dating Domination is basically a 2-volume collection of all of my best articles and essays about game, dating and the sexual marketplace, published since about 2014 to around 2019. So what you've got there is 5 years worth of material, and it includes all of the best stuff that I did on Return of Kings, pretty much every article that I did for Return of Kings when I was chief game writer over there. And on top of that, you've got the best articles that have appeared on realtroyfrancis.com over the last few years as well. So altogether, it's a bit of a beast. We're talking about, as I say, 2 volumes, and each volume is, forgetting my numbers now, each volume is about 100,000 words long, and you've got 150 articles plus within the whole collection. So yeah, this is a pretty mammoth thing. There is a lot of content here for you to go through. 150 articles about all kinds of things, all aspects of game, from the player lifestyle, the highs, the lows, the failures, the successes, the joys, the tribulations, all of that great stuff, plus just basics, opening, qualification, cocky funny, how to be the bad boy, how to attract her, how to close the deal, just everything basically that you need to know. And it's really a deep dive that I did over all of those years being out in the trenches in the dating scene. This is all blood, sweat and tears, basically, all of this stuff. Recounting all of the adventures that I've had and just giving you actionable tips and advice on how you can avoid some of those same mistakes that I made, because there's really no reason for you to be repeating a lot of the mistakes that I made. But if you get this mammoth collection, then it's going to teach you both what to do and also what not to do. But what I've always done in all of my articles is to sort of say, okay, so here's something that happened. Here is an incident that occurred in my own dating life. So say I met a girl and we went for a date, we slept together, or say I met somebody and she rejected me, or say, I travelled and I met this girl in a different country and what happened then. What I've always done is said to you, okay, so this is what happened, and I've described it as vividly as I can, and then pulled out the meaning of it. Said, okay, so this is what you can learn from this. This is the lesson that we can take from this particular incident. So there's a hell of a lot of wisdom in there, and I'm really, really proud of this work. It's, the work that I've done over the last 5 years. There's tons and tons of it. The collection in its entirety is about the same length as Moby Dick, so it's pretty damn long. It's longer than The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. It is longer than Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. So, look, there's a lot of material there. Now, if you order this week, that is to say before the end of Friday, the 19th of June, then you will get 25% off the cost of the collection. So, there's a link in the description for this video. So, I would encourage you to purchase this week, because then you'll get that 25% off. It's going up to $69 after Friday. So you can get it for $49 at the moment. So yeah, jump on board. But listen, I'm really proud of it. There's just so much great material in there, even though I say so myself. It's a mammoth collection, but it's very easily searchable as well. So you don't need to just sit down and read the whole thing. You can just, if you want to find out something about, say, flirtation or how to meet her or how to stop her or something like that, You can go through the contents page, click on the article, it'll take you straight through. So it's bite-sized, but it's also very, it's very, how can I put it? It's very complete. There's a hell of a lot of usable and worthwhile and, gold-edged really material in there. So, yeah, I really, really recommend that you take a look, and obviously it just helps to support me as well to keep putting out the free content, keep putting out the podcast, the videos, etc., etc. The other thing to say is that most of that material is now no longer available online. So, for example, if you go to Return of Kings, then you will see that most of my articles have been taken down from there. A few of them are left, but most of them have gone. Because of Bruce's change of direction, he's taken down a lot of old material. And a lot of the stuff on my own website, realtroyfrancis.com, has also been archived for over a year now. So the only place that you can get this stuff is within Renegade Dating Domination. So, as I say, the link is below. Please, if you're interested and want to support me and you want to get all of that game knowledge, then click on that link and it will take you through. And you get that discount before the end of this week until the 19th of June. Anyway, all of that being said, all of that put to one side, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Resurrection, because finally, after this tumultuous and frankly incredibly boring quarter of a year that we've all just been through, we are at last beginning to see the green shoots of some sort of recovery, of some sort of exit from this frankly pretty ridiculous global scenario that we've all found ourselves in. Lockdowns are easing, and I went into central London today and had a wander around, and yeah, there are signs of life for sure. So let me explain a bit about what I saw, and then just maybe give you some pointers, some little words of encouragement for going forward and beginning, tentatively, your own journey back into the dating marketplace. And the other thing as well that I should say is that I don't really imagine anyone who's listening to this is terribly scared about going back out again, or terribly concerned about, going out into the cities, into the towns, talking to people, travel, and all that kind of thing. But I also just want to underline the message that you shouldn't be. You don't have to be worried about that. Yes, you can take reasonable precautions, but look, we all have to grab the bull by the horns and get back out there and start spending some money, because otherwise our economies are going to collapse even more comprehensively than they are probably going to collapse anyway. So look, now is the time to say, okay, what's happened has happened. We've been out of the game for a little while. Now it's time to move and get back into that game. Okay, so as I say, I went into London today. Today is the first day that non-essential shops have been allowed to reopen. And so I was just curious. I didn't really want to buy anything, and I didn't buy anything, but I was just curious to go in to the centre and see what it was like. So, and I was with my girls, so in the afternoon, we took a subway into Tottenham Court Road, which is it's one of the most central stations in London, let's say. And from there, we walked down Oxford Street. Now, if you know anything about London at all, and I know some people who listen to this are based in London, but others aren't. So if you don't know anything about London, Oxford Street is the main shopping street. It's like Fifth Avenue. It's like Nevsky Prospect in St. Petersburg. It's like Las Ramblas in Barcelona. It's like the main commercial shopping street in the city. You've got all of the big stores there. You've got your H&Ms, you've got your Zara's, you've got your McDonald's, clothing stores, shoe shops, all of this kind of thing. So for that reason, it's also always been the key day game area in London. This is where many of the very famous day gamers that you'll be aware of now cut their teeth, going out and about and meeting girls and having a lot of fun generally. So we walked down the street. We walked down Oxford Street, and we popped into some stores to see what was happening. The big Primark, the cheap clothing store, that is open again. And that was reasonably... the good news, I suppose, from what I saw was that while the stores are asking people to... Sometimes they're asking people to queue outside, which is annoying. But once you're in the store, it's pretty much business as usual as far as I could see. I mean, having said that, I think what's going to be annoying if you're actually in the market for shopping is that I don't think you can actually go and try things on in the clothes store. So I think you just have to guess if it's going to fit you and take it home and then return it if it doesn't, which is silly, really, because the whole advantage that clothing stores have over online shopping at the moment is that you can try things on. And if you can't try things on in a physical shop, then maybe you might as well just order online, right? But anyway, the actual experience of being there was very similar. So we had a wander around in there. We looked in the Zara. We walked further up. We had a look in some other stores. And then we went to Selfridges. And Selfridges is one of the big fancy department stores in London. And we had a look around, and we spent actually quite a bit of time just looking around, looking at different things, blah, 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 got a coffee, and it was all very nice. And overall, right, my impression of central London is it's not quite back to normal. There's still a lot of places that are closed. Strangely, there were some stores that were closed, some quite big stores, and it just, I don't really understand. I don't quite understand the mentality with that, really, because I would think if you were a retailer and you'd been forcibly closed for the last 3 months, you'd probably want to open up as soon as possible. But for whatever reason, some companies have obviously chosen not to do that quite yet, but they no doubt will open again soon. But, it was all right. There were people out and about. Some people were wearing masks. A lot of people weren't. We've been told on the London Underground that we have to wear masks. So most people on the subway, on the Underground, were wearing masks. But out and about, some were, some weren't. There were a few slightly annoying things. Like we went into one quite fancy clothing store, and it's on several floors. And so we wanted to go upstairs to have a look at the men's section, because I wanted to look for some Versace shit. And they actually made us wait at the bottom of the stairs while they the security guard radioed up to a second security guard to find out if anybody was coming down the stairs, so that we wouldn't pass on the stairs, so that the possibility of passing on COVID-19 was thus reduced. A bit of an overreach and slightly annoying, particularly because we had to stand around while the first security guard tried to get the other security guard on the walkie-talkie and failed to, because they were obviously picking their nose or doing something else. So, that's kind of annoying. That's not great. But in general, the vibe was okay. Now, for the gamer, for the guy who wants to go out and start to meet people, meet new girls, start to talk to people, what was the vibe like? Now, disclaimer, I didn't do any day game. I was with my girl, so it wasn't quite the moment, let's say, for that. But obviously, I was there and looking around and observing people. I would say, as I've said before we got to this stage in the crisis, or whatever you want to call it, that I believe there will be a mixture of people, in terms of people's reactions, let's say, to this, and how they're going to react post-COVID. Because one of the fears that guys have had, and they've been asking a lot, both me and other people in the field, is, am I ever going to be able to just cold approach a girl again? Am I ever going to be able to talk to somebody in the street again? Or is this going to be banned forever? Or even if it's not banned, because it isn't banned, but, are people just going to run away when I come to approach because they're going to think, well, I'm going to catch COVID-19, so therefore I need to run away from this dude? I would say, from what I observed, that I think a good proportion of the girls who are out and about will probably be perfectly amenable to being approached, just like they were before. I also think that there will be some, and I think proportions, hard to say. I'd like to think a minority, but maybe 40-60, maybe perhaps let's hope that's an overreach. But say the worst case scenario, 40% are going to be wary when you make the approach because of COVID-19. They're going to say, or they're going to think, hang on a minute, I don't want to talk to this random guy who I haven't met before because he's not social distancing. He's come nearer to me than, in order to talk to me. And that's going to scare her and she's going to not be open to having that conversation. But I would say a majority are going to be okay with it because I think, as I've thought all along, people just don't like being locked down. This is the problem with lockdown as a strategy to deal with a pandemic of this kind. And there are many, many, many articles and much discussion about whether lockdown was the appropriate response in the first place. And I don't want to get into that here, but let's just say that people really don't like to be locked down. People don't like to have their ability to socialise with others and indeed to get to know others intimately curtailed by the state in that way. They just don't like it. It's not natural. It's not the way that human beings have existed. It's not something... and the fact that this is such an unprecedented way of dealing with a pandemic has been remarked upon as well. And of course it is. This has never happened before. We've never seen a situation where the vast majority of the world has been completely caused to come to a standstill, where people have been forced to remain in their homes and not able to meet one another, not able to socialise, not able to meet new people for dating or sexual purposes, or it is an incredible thing that's happened and it's never been tried before. I've seen it described as a vast psychological experiment that's taking place in real time. So let's be completely frank, most people aren't on board with that. Most people have put up with it because we have felt that it's necessary to put up with it in order to help slow the spread of the virus, in order to protect the health services and so on and so forth. But people haven't been enjoying it. Most people haven't. Some people probably have. But the majority of people, when it comes down to it, they want things back to normal. They want to be able to go out. They want to be able to mingle with people. They want to be able to get intimate with people. This is the stuff of life. And you can't keep human spirit down. You can't keep human sexuality at bay. It is what it is. It's a vast and incredibly potent and powerful force. And that goes for the girls as well as the guys, of course. Probably maybe even more so, right? So rest assured, there are plenty of women out there who are very, very keen to resume the old ways of going about things. So that isn't to say that I think now is the appropriate or the best time to start running around on some crazy day game odyssey, because yes, there are going to be those who are reticent, and we need to all sort of feel ourselves back into this. Not in that way, but you know what I mean. We all need to ease back into the new normality, as it were. But from what I saw, things were looking pretty normal out there. And this is the other thing. All of these social distancing measures, and of course they're going to be different depending on where you are based in the world and the legal requirements of your location and so on and so forth. But I don't see them holding, to be honest, because they are just so natural and they're incredibly difficult to enforce anyway. I saw people paying lip service to social distancing when we were out. I saw people trying to kind of stay away a little bit from others and just going along with what they've been told. But as soon as it impedes, as soon as there's a greater goal, like for example, we were queuing outside a shop. Just not a long queue. We weren't going to do any long queue, but we were outside. There was like one person in front of us. So we're kind of standing outside waiting to go in the shop. And these two women, just kind of pushed in front of us and like almost kind of barged in. And it was annoying, but also very telling because they clearly weren't that bothered about social distancing. All they were bothered about was getting into the store so that they could buy some nice fast fashion and look good on Instagram, okay? So when there is a greater attraction in view, people forget all of this crap. People forget the need to socially distance. People forget about the virus, because their other needs take precedence in the moment. And that's going to be exactly the same for attraction and dating. Because, yes, of course, none of us wants to get ill. None of us wants to end up with some virus and have to be incapacitated for a period of time or even worse, of course. But we also have other drives. We have the desire not to get struck down with an illness, but countering that, we've also got the desire to meet other people and to have sex and to have fun and to love and to socialise and all of those kinds of things. And I think what we're going to see now is the balance tipping in favour of those more positive urges. So, yeah, there is some degree of normality returning. It's still going to take a little while, I think. I don't think we're going to go back to some resurgence of how things were 4 months ago. We have to accept that this has been a seismic thing that's hit us, and as unfortunate as it's been, it is what it is, and there's no point in complaining about it. But the human spirit is nothing if not persistent in its goals, and I can see it already. I can see the world coming back to life. I can see the resurrection taking place as we speak, and that is very, very good news, I think, for all of us. So, yeah, I would say now is the time to get back out there. Now is the time to start getting yourself into gear mentally, at least, for the fact that, we've had this bit of time off. We've been out of action for a little while, but that period of inaction is now coming to an end. And in fact, now is the time when we want to start to get out there and start to make the most of things. Because, look, the fact of the matter is we have now lost, as I say, a quarter of this year to this pandemic and to the restrictions that have resulted from it. And that is not great because, as I'm always saying on this show and on videos and things, we don't have very long on this planet. And to have a quarter of a year of enforced monotony and boredom because of a stupid virus, I don't think anyone's happy about it, but you have to think now, I'm going to make that time back up, okay? Of course, you can't really make that time back up. This is the problem with time. It's the only thing that you can't earn more of. Once it's gone, it's gone. But the fact that it's gone, the fact that you've had those 3 months ripped from your grasp, should make you all the more enthusiastic about now grasping life by the horns and just making it count, right? I mean, just make it count for God's sake. You've been sat at home playing FIFA, watching Netflix for 3 months. Jesus. I mean, now, what more encouragement do you need than now to go out and to say, right, I have these aims in my dating life. I want to be dating this caliber of women. I'm going to go out there and make it happen. Or to say, okay, I'm not satisfied with the amount of money I'm making anymore. I want to make more money. I am going to go out there and make it happen. Or to say, I'm in this crap job. I don't like it. I don't like my boss. I don't like the people I work with. I am going to go out there and make change happen. Okay? So, look, that's what you need to do. Don't suffer the status quo any longer, right? And don't allow yourself, if anybody out there listening to this is in this mindset of thinking, I'm now so indoctrinated, I'm now so used to staying at home behind the sofa, scared to go out, that I don't really feel like going out again. You have to put that mindset behind you. You have to take the opportunities that you've got. And now this ease up is happening. Get out there and make the most of it, Start going out. Start saying hi to people. People are friendly. That's the other thing I noticed today. People want interaction because they've been starved from it for so long. So, go out. Just, if you are new to doing game or doing day game, go out. Just start saying hello to people. Just start saying, oh, it's good we're out of this lockdown now, isn't it? Just little human interactions like that. It will get you back into the swing of things and it will make them more comfortable as well. And look, you're doing a good thing because you're helping in a small way, you're helping humanity, the people around you, to heal from what has, I believe, been quite a scarring event, actually. And I think we will see or understand the psychological ramifications of what's happened more in time. But I don't think we get out of this scot-free. I don't think that you can undertake a psychological experiment of this kind and not have any effect from it. So what that's going to be, if there's going to be any lasting effects on society, people's behaviour and all that, we're just going to have to wait and see. But in a small way, you can help people by going out and being social and showing other people that actually it's fine, it's normal, this is how human beings are. And you'll have a lot of fun in the process as well. Because as I say, and as I've been saying since the beginning, there's a lot of pent-up demand out there for sure. Which is exactly why you should get Renegade Dating Domination. Because now is the time to get your game into gear. And that is 5 years worth of writing, articles, essays by me about game, dating, the dating marketplace. And you can get it for 25% off until Friday. So do hit that link below. It'll take you straight through. You can own the products, the 2 volumes of Renegade Dating Domination immediately. You get it as a PDF and as an EPUB, by the way. So you can read it on your Kindle, but you've also got it there as a PDF also. Yeah, so take action. Don't tarry. Now is the time, Now we're finally being released from all of this. You need to be ready to go. So that's it for today. I hope you got something from that. Just some observations and some thoughts as we come out of lockdown, as we go into the resurrection. Please do hit subscribe to this channel. It really helps me to grow the listenership, get people on board, etc., etc. Keep putting out free content for you guys. If you're listening to this on iTunes, thank you very much, or SoundCloud, thank you very much. But please do head over to YouTube and follow me over there because I also put out a lot of content there as well. So subscribe to the channel. And that's it, really. The only other thing to say is get on my daily email list. At the moment, if you look on Twitter, find me on Twitter at Renegade Playboy. I'm doing an offer where you can get 2 free chapters from Renegade Dating Domination when you join my email list. So sign up for the email list. You'll get 2 chapters for free. And you'll get free content from me throughout the week also. Okay, I will leave it there for now. Bye-bye.